Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce to you week 2, June the 11th through the 17th. We're looking at demonstrative adjectives and pronouns. You should study pages 134 to 135, 152 to 155. You're going to want to review all of chapter 4 and then review pages 10, 24, 27, 28, 30, 62, 64, 67, 84, and 87. So after completing this week's assignments, what you should be able to do or to understand, you should be able to use demonstrative adjectives and pronouns to make spatial references. You should be able to describe your daily routines and habits and express your personal care needs and be able to compare objects and people. You're also going to be asked to read 2 short texts about a day at the beach and about Ignacio Maldonado, a kid who is unlike other kids his age. You should be able to answer short questions on what you have read, which demonstrates your ability to read and comprehend brief passages in Spanish. You should be able to demonstrate your ability to extend and decline invitations and how to use demonstrative adjectives. Also, how to distinguish between the use of the verbs saber and conocer. You should be able to use Chapter 4 vocabulary to write a paragraph about your families. In this paragraph, you should be able to relate the names of at least 4 family members, their ages, the relation of each person to you, a few activities that each family member does in his or her free time, and a few activities that you and the family member do together. You should use adjectives, adjective agreement rules, article noun agreement rules, and regular present tense verbs to write this paragraph. For this week's test, you should also be able to describe yourself to others, be able to converse with others in Spanish about your families. You should be able to conjugate E to IE, E to I, and O to UE stem changing verbs and use the irregular verbs poner, salir, and traer in sentences. All of this week's assignments address student learning outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I know this sounds like a lot, and that's simply because you have a lesson, but then you also have a test and oral dialogue prep and writing prep. So let me get to all of this. So to start off with, you're going to do the same thing again. Look at your instructor-made videos. You've got videos on demonstratives, so you'll watch both of those. And then you'll go back out, click on the thread, click on the forum, click on the thread, hit reply, and post any questions or concerns you have about what you saw on the video or any other questions or concerns you have about demonstrative adjectives and pronouns. Okay, so you also have a test on the first part of Chapter 4, which is due by the end of the day. This should say 6:14. I'll fix that. Okay, so if we open up the test. So un día de mi vida en la universidad, this is vocabulary. So decide what the student does during a typical day by filling in the blanks with a logical word from the word bank. So you're only going to use each word once. They're already in the form in which you should use them, so you don't need to change anything. Just read through the sentences, pick which word would make the most sense. Como cambian? So now we're dealing with our stem changing verbs, our E to IEs, O to UEs, E to Is. So you pick the verb out of the group that would best complete the sentence, and then you conjugate it correctly, remembering that you make the stem change, use the change stem everywhere but nosotros and vosotros. Okay? No es muchacho típico. You're going to read about Ignacio Maldonado, and then you're going to answer the questions based on what you've read. Okay, las relaciones familiares. Your study group is reviewing for an exam, and one member has come up with some great sentences to review the family vocabulary. Complete the sentences with the correct vocabulary word. So el hijo de mi tía es mi, and then you just list what that is, whether it's brother, sister, etc. The modifier has already been given, like a possessive adjective is already in front of the blank, so you don't need to put an article with whatever familial relationship you plug in there. You just need to write in the familial relationship. Okay. La familia de Catalina, a new student. Catalina has just moved into the residence hall. Listen to this description of her and her family and decide whether each statement is cierto or falso. If the information is not given, select no se menciona. So you'll write cierto, falso, or no se menciona in the blank after listening to this audio about Catalina. Okay, so you just click there and listen. Okay, and that's everything you have to do for this test. Okay, so what else do you have this week? You also have a reading comprehension quiz. Okay, so you are going to read about Un día en la playa and about Ignacio Maldonado. And when you're ready, you're going to hit attempt quiz now. And there's the passages again, and then you're just going to fill in the blanks with what's missing based upon what you've read, or choose between true-false questions, okay? And it says you've got 2 hours, but you only have 1 attempt, so don't open it until you're ready to take the quiz. Okay, oral dialogue preparation. So we've got 2 workshops going on this week. One is for writing and one is for an oral. So what we're going to do for your oral dialogue is this week you're going to write out what you're going to say. So you're going to write out your answers to these questions. ¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre? ¿Qué haces con tu mejor amigo o tu mejor amiga? ¿Te gusta bailar en una discoteca? ¿Qué haces con tu familia en el verano? ¿Cómo es tu familia? So you'll open this up. Okay, so you open this up. There's the questions again. And then, okay, so when you open it up, you should see start preparing your submission. So when you're ready, when you've decided how you want to answer those questions, just click on this. And what you're going to want to do is write what you plan to say, okay, and then hit Save Changes. All right, so then what will happen is we're going to critique what we all plan to say. So this will get moved down to the next week. In the next week, you will get assigned someone to look at your answers, and there will be people who are, so someone will be looking at your answers, you're going to be looking at other people's answers, I'm going to look at everybody's, and we're all going to give each other feedback. And then not next week, but the following week is when you'll do the final version of your oral dialogue, and you'll incorporate that feedback that you've received. You're going to do the same thing with your writing assignment. Okay, so with your writing assignment, it tells you, sobre mi familia, your group of international friends would like to know more about your family. Update your blog with a short paragraph to satisfy their curiosity. Be sure to include the following information: names and ages of at least 4 people in your family, each person's relationship to you, a few activities that each person does in their free time, a few activities that you do together. So then you're going to, when you're ready, you'll hit start preparing your submission, and you're going to write your paragraph based on those prompts. Again, the next week what will happen is you will receive somebody's work to critique, and they will also receive yours, and I'm going to look at it as well. And then 2 weeks from now, you'll take that critiqued material and write your final version of this essay, okay? You also have assignment 4 where you're going to visit my language labs and complete these activities. You can click on that link, but I already have it open, so I'm going to go out here to my language labs and go to today's view, and I'm going to scroll over to June and click on June the 14th, and all the assignments are going to pop up here. So you just open up each one and complete it. Just write in your answers and hit finish and submit for grading. Remember, you can do these assignments as many times as you would like before the due date, but if you're doing it more than 3 times, then you probably want to reach out to me. Okay? And that should be just about everything that you have to do for week